Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Shane Guilford and you've joined us for round 13 of this year's V8 League round of 2020. So I'm a bit confused. The guys are out in qualify session at the moment. We're currently at Symmons Plains. Very, very short circuit this one, so there'll be a lot of lapping and a lot of tripping up on lap cars for sure. So we'll get right into it. We'll go live. We're currently watching David Baker at the moment. We've got a few, as usual, we try and bring you a lot of in-car footage of some driver cams. So we're currently in qualifier session. No, that looks like practice session. That's not right. Let's refresh that. Okay, that's a bit better. 6 minutes 50 seconds to go. We're looking at 49-second laps. We've got the top 3, top 4 already. Well, look at that. The top 6 are within a second of each other. We're currently following David Baker in the Monster Energy Mustang. David Baker. Okay. So, driver cam, I'll just bring him up. David Baker, we've got David Baker in the foreground there and Bryce Royal next to him. He'll be in the Shell Helix Mustang number 17 car. So I'll show you where everyone is on the map at the moment. It is a private session, so the guys are not going to be able to see each other on circuit, even though they're all out there at the same time. That's a great shot coming in at turns 1 and 2. Tasmania, Symmons Plains. Beautiful circuit. We all love to watch it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go there this year, but definitely going to be going there early next year in the 2021 calendar. So make sure you keep your eye out for that circuit. Very famous for a big pile-up with Will Davison at the front there a few years ago. Really hurt his back in that accident, and thankfully he's recovered from that one. Okay, so with 5 minutes to go, who else have we got on cam? We've got a new camera, and this one's exciting. It's Daniel Opedisano. So that's Daniel Opedisano racing with us from the Gold Coast. That's inside his house at the moment. He's definitely leading the championship. Looks like he's going to be unbeatable for the end of the year. So the title may go to him. I don't want to give it the commentator's curse, but he's been dominant all year. Him and Foster have been battling it out. Very, very tough over the last few races especially. Speaking of Tom Foster, it's Tom Foster on screen, and I'll bring him up on track. That's him in the Foster's Fence and Fix. He's also in a Mustang. Opedisano was the only true blue HSV driver there. The rest are in Mustangs. Actually, another driver we have in our store at the moment and on driver cam is Nathan Mannix, also flying the flag for the Holdens. He's in the Matt Stone Racing unit entry. Had to change that. We've got a bit of a software issue, unable to set soft tyres for this circuit, and that's a glitch of the mod which we've let the guys at FVR Factor know about, and they're onto it for the next release. So the fastest lap of the race at the moment, 49, well, was Flack, but now that's gone to Opedisano. And he's gone to the top with a 49.393. He's just parked it in the pits. So Scott Flack is another car you want to look out for. He'll be in the green and gold Days of Thunder colours, which you can see there. Okay, 2.2 minutes to go. Scott Black going out for one last run. You can see the timing screen all swapping over as the guys smashing their tyres. Was just on the radio to Anthony Visma asking about fuel. So there's no fuel consumed in the race. So he'll probably dump his fuel load to get about 100 kilos lighter. Scott just running wide there, but that's still counted, but he ran a bit too wide there. Who else have we got on screen? Bradley Martin for Aces Racing Team. He's jumped in. Limited practice, but he's already up the top end, so that's good to see. And Hello Caesar in the Coolamass entry. We usually follow him, but he's kept quiet, but no, definitely making himself known as he's moved up into P3. This turn 1, turn 2 is definitely going to be really tight. You know the dogleg is going to squeeze and bottleneck the whole field, so everyone just needs to be patient, get through, and the actual hairpin as well. I should actually show you guys the hairpin and how important it is, or how vital it's going to be to actually get through here. Okay, that's the hairpin there. So we can see down here how tight and nice and cambered it is. So we'll see if anyone's coming in. We can see should be Bradley Martin coming through for Aces Ford Mustang. Well, that timing might be a bit late, so should see someone soon. Can't see anyone on circuit. So here comes, looks like Hello Caesar. So we'll be able to see him just hook into that camber and get on the gas early and get around. Okay, so Caesar does a good job of that. Demonstrate, and it's also very easy to outbrake yourself going into the hairpin. And if you do, it's going to cost you a lot of time. You'll almost get lapped trying to get out of the sand trap. So it's definitely important to be a lot safer. Just brake 10, 15 meters earlier just to make sure that you do it. Even the guys in real life are known to lock up and end up in that area. In real life, it has been tarmac, so it's not all sand trap. The tarmac's been run a bit deeper, and that's the end of the quali. It looks like Opposano, Flack, Caesar, Foster, Martin, Mannix, Bisma, Baker, Foster are your top 10. So we do still have the father-son combo. Peter Foster, bring him up quickly. He's sporting the crowd lounge, just crossing the line there. Did he improve? No, he's going to be starting in P9. We've also got Liam Tollard Williams. We'll go through that throughout the coverage tonight. That was just quali. So quali was Daniel Opposano in P1 with a 42.239. Close behind him, Scott Flack with a 49.398. Thomas Foster just pipping Hello Caesar for P3. So it'll be those two on the second row. Third row of the grid, Bradley Martin, Nathan Mannix, Anthony Visma, David Baker on the fourth row, Peter Foster, Liam Tollard Williams from Tasmania, Anders Anderson, Ross Licciardi on the sixth row of the grid. Behind them, Bryce Roll, Daniel Grace, and at the back, number 15 will be Troy Chislowski. Okay, so I'm just going to check with the boys, make sure they're ready for the race. go to a quick break and we'll be with you in a minute. With thanks to our sponsors, Julie and James at Burleigh Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Julie and James. Okay, welcome back. The guys are just gridding up on the main straight, and we're going to be formation lap. You can see the guys gridding up there. This is going to be quite hectic into turn one. The guys have been warned to take it easy through turns 1 and 2. So this is a formation lap they're about to start. I think we'll watch Nathan Mannix starting from P6 at the moment. Once I hit the... Alright, so they're off. It's a short formation lap, so we'll go through the order again. Daniel Opedasano, Scott Flack on your front row. Behind them, Thomas Bosser, Hillel Caesar. Next row will be Bradley Martin and Nathan Mannix. They've been battling it out all year long. So too, and David Baker. Anthony Bismee in the P7. Peter Foster, the second of the Foster boys. He'll be starting in P9. Look out for the Lowndes livery. Liam Tolo Williams from Tasmania is starting in our top 10. P13 is Bryce Royal and David Grace next to him in the shell colours, and Troy Jaslowski in P13. I missed out Anders Anderson and Ross Licciardi. Okay, back to the timing screens. I'll actually have a quick look at Ross Licciardi. We haven't given him any love tonight. Not too sure if he's supposed to be in the Milwaukee. He does have his own livery. So the guys are just warming up their tyres, about to grid up. That's okay. So Daniel Opedisano sporting a new beautiful livery. Next to him will be Scott Flack on the outside. So it'll be hard for me to call out. Okay, so Daniel Opedisano on the front row. Okay, waiting for the countdown, 17 laps. We can hear the lights. There it is, Opedisano getting a good launch ahead of Scott Flack. Scott Flack just obviously missed a gear. There's a bit of carnage in the background. David Baker getting caught up in that earlier accident. It's all hell's breaking loose. Hell, Daniel Opedisano's out by himself, but it's Foster, Caesar, and Flack around the outside in the Days of Thunder colour. They come together, but they still keep it straight. We're watching Opedisano keeping it cool out the front there. It's a lot to digest there, but Ross Licciardi's picked up a few places. So has Brad Martin. Scott Flack, the biggest loser there. So we can see the biggest gains from Licciardi up in a P7. The biggest loser would be Visma, and I think we saw David Baker losing out even before the start-finish line. So that's not good news for them. Going back to Nathan Mannix, chasing down Bradley Martin in P6 at the moment. We're already in the lap 2. It's only 2 minutes in. Very short lap, so there'll be quick races at the moment. We can see Mannix, fastest sector of the race so far in the Maidstone Racing. It's a beautiful circuit, Tasmania, very flat, windy, can be. Nice long straight with a tight hairpin to sort the guys out in this section through here, coming on the main straights. Very hard to keep the car loaded onto the outside as they take it down the main straight and brake hard into the dogleg, as we see there. Later towards the race, we'll see them overshooting that, I'm sure. But it's still Opedisano, Foster, Caesar, and Flack coming through into the hairpin. Bradley Martin keeping in touch as well, so that's great to see in P5 for Aces Racing team. I've got Liam Tolo Williams moving up a couple of places, and the big victims, Baker and Visma in the Coca-Cola car, losing out quite heavily in that exchange at the start. Anders Anderson in the Red Bull. And we've got a new fastest lap for Thomas Foster. That's a 49.806. We've got Anders Anderson in P12. Daniel Grace in his third race with us, third round. So hopefully I will see him climb up the ladder. And Peter Foster also having an incident at the start, I think, and falling towards the back there. And Troy Jaslowski's already parked it in the pits. But Flack just almost getting up the inside of Halil Caesar. Maybe he tapped him and let him go as he tucks him behind, tries to get a draft down the main straight. We're going to see if we can see the onboards. You can see Flack just controlling that front left. The biggest tyre that's going to take a beating today is the front right, because it's just constant left-hand turns. Left, that's the only right-hand turn pretty much, other than the main straight, which is negligible. So we've got Opadasano stretching that lead out to now 1.3 seconds as Flack closes up hard onto the back of Little Caesar there. See if we can go back and see Flack coming down the main straight, tucking in. Will he pull out? Try and fox it down the inside. He's going for it. Oh, and he's overshot it. Little Caesars just knows better. He's broken early. Let Scott outbrake himself. That's costing Flack time. He's dropping down now into P6. Still in the gravel, trying to get back on the track. So Baker and Visma coming together. Looks like Visma's the cause of that one as he's yielded and waited for David Baker to catch up. As we've got Bradley Martin on screen at the moment. There's a lot of noise going on in the shop here. We've got David Baker not too happy with that one. Mr. Raceface himself, we'll bring him up on screen. He's not too happy. I think he got clipped behind. Not having the best of races at the moment. Down in a P10 at the moment. Lap 7 of 17. So he's definitely voicing his unhappiness with, looks like Visma, which is a co-car behind him. Go back up the front. And that's Halil Caesar again. Opadasano now defending against Thomas Foster in P2 for Foster's Fence and Fix. Daniel Opadasano on screen at the moment. We can see how close Foster is coming on the main straight for the 8th time tonight. As it looks like we're all 10 laps to go. Looks like we're about to start lapping cars already. We'll be able to see on the wide shot who's in front. Looks like it could be Daniel Grace. We'll see where Daniel's at the moment. Yeah, he's going down the main straight, so he'll have some company soon with Opadasano and Foster fighting it out for P2. Hello Caesar by himself in P3. Bradley Martin moved up an extra spot. So did Mannix, Tollard, Licciardi, Royal, Visma, Baker. Where is Flack? Flack's down to P11. It's really cost him that spin. Not too sure whether he's flat spotted there and the cars he's had to pit for new tyres, but with a short race, he's better off just staying out there. And that's Daniel Grace out of the way. We've got, let's see if we can bring up Foster right behind him. That's Foster on screen. Dr. Triceps. He's fighting hard to chase down Opadasano. We're only 9 laps in, but it's already heating up. There's a lot of position changes. We always knew this was going to be quite a lot of carnage, but we weren't expecting this much as we come into lap 10 of 17. We'll go back to the positions gained, and biggest loser out of that is Scott Flack, and that was self-inflicted from that lock-up into turn 6 there down the bottom of the main straight. He's tried to get up past Baker, but he's conceded that position again. Just see if we can go back there. That's Baker and Flack at the moment. And we'll bring Baker up on screen. As Flack again tries to go up the inside. Gets the job done this time, but Baker's got back up on the inside. That's experience for you. He's done the over-under. So cross the line, lap 11. Oh, it's a complete lap 10, I should say. I just heard a yell from someone in the Racecentre store here. Could have been, yeah, it was Daniel Grace down the main straight. Not too sure what happened there. Maybe overcooked it. Trying to come out of the hairpin there, but we'll go back to Baker and Flack as they're neck and neck. Flack getting the job done under the hairpin, but Daniel Grace is trying to stay on track and rejoin just in front. Mr. Raceface trying to get the curbs, trying to make the car to turn a bit better into turn 6 and get a good run over the checkered, over the start finish line. As we've still got Opposano Foster fighting it out. Caesar by himself still. And P4 to 8 are spread out at the moment. Bryce Royal, Ross Licciardi and Liam Tyler Williams doing a good job in P6 at the moment. He's chasing down Foster, about to pass Foster, I think. Peter Foster just in front. Not too sure what happened to him at the start of the race, but he's struggling at the moment. That's Liam chasing him down to put him a lap down. So that's Liam Tyler Williams from Tasmania in P6 at the moment. Ross Licciardi, Anthony Bisma up in a P8. Charging up the field at the moment after that earlier incident with Baker and in the Monster Energy car. Bryce Royal in the Shell Helix entry. He's closing up on these guys, so he's in P9 at the moment. He's definitely liking this. Slightly overshot that, but not a problem. But he's soon going to have Scott Flack for company if he doesn't tighten up those braking zones. You can see Bryce Royal in the background there. That's him trying to take the turn. Hopefully he just keeps his cool, doesn't overcook it. He has just conceded the spot to Scott Flack as Flack moves up into P8 at the moment. Let's check out the leaders as Opposano's starting to pull away now, catching Baker. We'll see how they get through the field because Baker's a seasoned campaigner, but he'll be getting the blue flag as he lets Opposano go and tucks back in. Great job from Baker to do that for Opposano as there's still a battle on for P1 at the moment. Opposano on screen there, just keeping it cool as well. Foster almost 2 seconds behind him. And Bradley Martin still in P4, doing a great job. Mannix 7 seconds behind them, and Tyler Williams, mentioned before, is in P6. Bit of movement down the back there. It looks like Foster's moved up into P13 ahead of Daniel Grace. We've got Thomas Foster. Dr. Triceps there, he's in P2. Caesar all by his lonesome in P3. We'll try and give him some love, some coverage for his sponsors. Cooler Master coming into the hairpin. Just taking the wider way around that corner, looking after those tyres. Tollard Williams up into P5 at the moment. Mannix must have made a mistake and dropped back. But that's Tollard Williams up into P5. Great job from him. Starting around the P10. As he takes a hairpin for the second last time. Got to go back to the leaders crossing the line if this is the last or penultimate lap. Still got 2 laps to go. And that's Foster right behind him, coming in the charge now. That's Opposano on screen. Opposano not really pressured at the moment. Looks quite comfortable as we take the lap for the Opedasano not really pressured at the moment. And I'll finally get my stuff together as we've finally got audio from the track itself. Bit of a internet issue there. So I've got Licciardi DNF from P12. I'm not too sure what happened there. He's may have pulled out. Foster may take that position by the end of the race, but we're on track with Opedasano. We're coming around the second last corner. Foster right behind him now. That looks like that's the checkered flag for Daniel Opedasano, with Tom Foster right behind him. Can't tell if Daniel's happy with that one. His face hasn't changed. No smiles or cheers. Bradley Martin coming home in P4. And this is William Tollard Williams coming around. Great job. We've got Nathan Mannix in P6. Not too sure, made a mistake earlier on or towards the back end of that race. Scott Flack right behind him. He's managed to really spoil that race. Anthony Bismarck, Bryce Royal. Okay, so we'll bring up the results for that race. Okay, Daniel Opedasano P1, Thomas Foster right behind him. P2, Halil Caesar, Brad Martin, Liam Tollard Williams, Nathan Mannix, Scott Flack, Anthony Bismarck in P8, but David Baker's not too happy about that. Behind him is Bryce Roll, David Baker finishing just in the top 10. P11, Anders Anderson. Then Peter Foster after the earlier incident. Ross Licciardi pulling out. I'm not too sure if that's electrical issues or not for him. Daniel Grace in P14 and Troy Chislaus in P15. All right, we're going to set the grid for the second race, and we'll be back after these messages.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
If you believe in it, then anything is possible.
Thanks to our sponsors, Jewellery on James at Burleigh Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
If you believe in it, then anything is possible.
Back for race 2, 24 laps. Just going to set the starting grid. So we'll have a look at the starting order so I can bring up my others. So I've got Bryce Royal, Anderson, Liam Tollard, Williams, Peter Foster in P4. P5 will be David Baker, Anthony Bisma, Nathan Mannix and Bradley Martin in P8. And then we've got Scott Flack, Daniel Obertasano in P12. So not too sure what's going on at the front, but it's New guys at the front. Okay, so the guys are not normally up the front. They've shot off. We've just told them to slow down. For the other drivers, we'll go back to the timing. So again, this will be hectic for turn 1. And good viewing for you guys at home. We've got Daniel Opedisano on screen. And Bryce Royal, we're actually watching in there. Daniel Opedisano will be starting from the back, so we could watch him, but let's give some courage to the guys at the front. David Baker had a discussion to the commissaires about some driving standards, so that's been addressed, and hopefully we get a cleaner run this time. But he's in the same company as race 1. So we've got David Baker on screen there, driver cam, Nathan Mannix. He'll be starting P7. And Tom Foster will be starting, where's he, P10. Alright, we'll go back to the front. Watch the action. We've got Red Bull and Shell at the front. Liam Tollard Williams, Peter Foster on the second row, as mentioned before. David Baker, Anthony Bismarck, Nathan Mannix, and Bradley Martin in the aces. Halil Caesar, Foster. Here we go, back to the front now. And it's a slow start from these two. That's going to bottleneck even more. Looks like a huge pile up at the back there. These guys really need to sort themselves out. That's Nathan Mannix getting caught up in the melee there. Liam Tollard Williams. Looks like they're all playing in the sand at the moment. But we've got Anders Anderson keeping his heels clean. But he's overshot it on the first corner. So that's Peter Foster in the lead. These guys really need to just take it easy. They all got caught up with each other on the, not even before the start finish line, but we've got Peter Foster out in front, fending off Halil Caesar in P2. Will Caesar get up on the inside? Foster's beautifully closed the door on him. And he's got his son Thomas Foster right behind him, so it's Foster Flack. Foster's in P4 at the moment. So Peter Foster taking us across the line for race 2, lap 1, or lap 2 I should say. Paps on the window we can see there, so got to bring up the desktop audio. Yep, there we go. All right, so we've got audio. Caesar just getting around, but Will Foster try and get up. We can see Flack in the background. Flack and Foster coming together. That'll probably get in 3 wide down the back there, down the hairpin. How does that happen? Oh, and Foster's been caught up with Flack and he's lost out, and Opedisano gets a clean run. Driver cam, there was laughs, but now there's tears as Flack and Foster come together. Anyway, we're back up the front with Paps taken over, still in P2, letting Opedisano go. Hopefully he doesn't run off into the grass while giving way to Opedisano out the front. But it's Peter Foster third, Scott Flack P2, Flack P4 now. That's Bradley Martin again back in P5, but he'll charge up the front and start challenging Flack for that position. Anders Anderson from pole is currently in P6 after that earlier lock-up into the hairpin. Easily done, but he's waving around a bit there. He probably needs to sort of... he's cooking the ears, but he's held it. He's still on. So we're down the main straight. Turn 5, we'll call that. And he's got Thomas Foster right behind him with David Baker in that beautiful black and green Monster Energy Ford Mustang. Anders taken inside, Foster just giving him a bit of a love tap. Just got to give him a message there. like he turned Anders Anderson around, but Anders Anderson unable to catch. Up the front we've still got Halil Caesar in P1, Obatasano in P2. Not too sure if Foster gave me the bird on live on air there. We'll go to Baker. Baker's in P6 at the moment, trying to make his way back up the front. He's in P6 with Tolo Williams, close behind in P7 Bisma, not too far behind, and so is Mannix. So these guys were the ones that got caught up on the opening corner, and so they're all together trying to lessen the deficit, or the damage I should say. So it's Mannix, Anderson, that's Anderson in P10. Thomas Foster, unfortunately, giving the spot back to Anderson. Bryce Royal in P12 after that front row. Didn't get off the line, so that brought all the guys up behind. Unfortunately, got caught up in the incident, and the other shell car hitting the fence on the straightaway. It's Halil Caesar with the fastest lap of the race so far at 50.887. Full 4.7 seconds ahead of Obatasano, chasing hard. We can see with the positions going, definitely Obatasano, the biggest climber, as expected really, but not so early, only lap 7 at 24. Not too sure if we'll see some pit stops in this race. As the guys were saying that last race they almost needed to pit. But it's an extra 7 laps this race, race 2, here at Symmons Plains. Okay, so it looks like a big chain for P5 at the moment. Peter Foster still in the top 5 as Martin's moved up into P4. Black regaining P3 at the moment. There we have it. They're all trailing each other down the main straight, down the back straight, I should say. Looks like Thomas Foster's DNF that one. Peter Foster doing a great job holding off these guys out in front. They come down the main straight and in the hairpin. And that's Anders Anderson trying to back up in the hairpin. Not a good move, to be honest. The guys are still behind. They're not pulling away. Like Peter Foster's still holding him off quite respectfully. As we're watching David Baker P6 at the moment. It's a good little battle brewing. It's still Halil Caesar out in front though. So that track map's not currently working for us at the moment. Let's come back right when I say that. So it's a 6-car battle for P5 at the moment. Everyone trying to get that spot. David Baker getting up the inside. Will he pull it up in time? He runs deep. Oh, Tollard just collecting the second of the Foster guys there. Got Anthony Visma behind him, Liam Tollard Williams in P7. And behind him, Nathan Mannix, trying to get past Tollard Williams in P7. Like Obadasano is closing up on Caesar up into P1 on lap 11. There's only 0.7 the difference. Visma going short and he's taken out all the boards, so everyone's going to gain a place there as Visma cleans up, and looks like Mannix is also locked up there. Definitely got to play with the brake wires to balance out that braking in a T1. Who's that? That's Peter Foster back in a P9. Okay, we'll go back up the front. Obadasano dropped back a little bit, but gap's definitely closing, and we're coming up to lap traffic now. That's Daniel Grace, I think. Could be Bryce Royal. Yeah, that's Bryce Royal in the 17 car. So Hillel getting past Royal there, and here comes Obadasano in the car behind. That's Obadasano getting the job done, taking Bryce Royal in a P10. So the next guy in front will be Peter Foster. I'm just trying to look for other battles throughout the lap here, but it looks like they're spread out quite a bit. Black, probably the closest one to get on the back of Bradley Martin in the Aces car. Black getting caught up with that 3 wide through the hairpin. They got through the hairpin okay, but coming out, unfortunately, Foster come off third best out of that ordeal, and he ended up on the infield there. So that's Scott Black in a P4. Okay, so I've got Visma and Tollard Williams close at the moment, and we're on the back of Baker. So this is a 3-way battle. I've got Baker on screen at the moment. This is inside Racecentre on our full motion simulators. And David Baker on screen in the driver cam is the driver of the Monster Energy car with the matching t-shirt, or matching merchandise I should say, shirt. Okay, so Liam Tollard Williams in P6. Good 3-way battle going on here. Liam Tollard Williams was caught up with Peter Foster earlier, so Peter Foster that is, in the silver black Craig Lowndes Green-Eyed Monster livery. Looks like Bryce Royals in the pits at the moment. That's why he took the hands off the wheel. He's definitely burning up the tyres after 15 laps. The gap between Caesar and Obadasano stretched out to 2.5 seconds, so this is definitely the closest battle on on the track at the moment. Flack is closing up on Martin, but not enough really. He's up only 1.2 behind, but we'll stay with this bunch. These guys are either just looking after the tyres, staying in each other's company, or they're really pushing hard and keeping lapping at the same rate. So we'll see towards the end whether anyone starts to push and tries to make a move down on Baker, but Baker slides down the inside under brakes. Tyler Williams just keeping his line, getting a good exit there in front of Visma. Obatasano bringing that gap down now out front to 1.8 behind Caesar in P1. Just quickly go to him, see where he's at. So he's down the hairpin, coming up behind lap traffic. And he's got Obatasano 1.4 seconds behind him. We'll go back to Baker. And these three, they haven't changed really. They're really just keeping each other company at the moment. It's a good circuit to see where your opposition is and how far in front or behind they are, and how much you're catching them. As they go through the hairpin, you notice whether you're actually catching or not. Flax dropped off a little bit from Martin as gap's gone to 7 seconds now. So I'm not too sure whether he's come off or he's really struggling, and he comes into the pits, as we say, and he's got to come in for fresh rubber. It's only 6 laps to go, so I don't know if the guys out in front are really going to try and make it work. Baker's now going to take that spot from them, so all these three guys will move up into P4, 5 and 6. Tyres really a question on this race at the moment. We've got Mr. Raceface coming down the main straight into the hairpin once again. 6 laps to go. Obatasano definitely closing. Gap now just under 1 second. So it looks like they're struggling on tyres. Okay, so Flax come out, rejoining P8. But he's only 10 seconds behind Manic, so over the next 5 or so laps we may see those times getting crushed. But I can only see him gaining that one position, to be honest, as Mannix is catching these three out in front. And he's catching quite rapidly. A bit up front, we've got Obatasano on the back of Caesar now in P1. Look at the gap there, we can visually see it. Love to see what the tyre degradation on these two are, and whether they're just being able to nurse those tyres. I know Halil being out front should have been nursing the tyres while he had no company out front, just to control the situation, because towards the end of the race I'm sure we're going to see some changes here. As Caesar still holds out a half-second gap in front. Looks like it's just Baker and Tyler Williams now in P4. And that's Baker 4, Tyler Williams in 5, and Visma's just dropping off a little bit there. But Mannix is coming up the back too now. So is Foster. Foster's moved up into P8 as well, so Flax dropped down to P9 after that stop. So the best he'll probably do is P8, or in the 3 laps that he's got, that's probably not enough, because he's got a 23-second gap. He may have received a penalty, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's Obatasano on the back of Caesar with 3 laps to go. He's got the inside, but does he have enough tyres to get the job done? We've got Scott Flack back in the pit, so I'm not seeing anything pop up on screen. I'm not too sure if you guys are seeing it whether he's received a penalty for speeding in or out of pit lane. I know there's absolutely no tolerance in the speed, so if you are out, neck and neck as they come down opposite up the inside. He's tried to hold it under brakes. You can see him losing it, almost taking out Caesar, but he's managed to pick it up in time. Still got 2 laps to get the job done as Tyler Williams has got the position back from Visma. Right, Anders Anderson coming through and around, lapping in P12, race up in P11. It's up the front. I'm not too sure what's going on there. I just saw Scott Flack going in the pits once again, so he's really struggling. We've only got 2 laps to go, and it's still Caesar in front, coming up behind. Obadesano just readjusting himself in the cockpit. He knows he's got 2 important laps to go. These guys are definitely going to make the 24 lap mark. And Brad Martin up in the P3 at the moment. Good job from him. Coming in at turn 6 around turn 7. And see Obadesano was looking after his tyres. They're both going wide. Back marker's given away really well. It's a hard job to do. And Visma's in the Coca-Cola car is going to have to yield to these two pretty soon. He'll probably do that after. So I've got the 2 leaders coming up behind a back marker. We'll see if the back markers know on team radio. He's been given the order to let him go. And there he goes. He's let him battle it out instead of getting in the middle of the battle. And it's just the last lap of the checkered flag. It looks like this is the checkered flag for Halil Caesar. Great job from him. Daniel Obadesano. And here comes Brad Martin. Going to bring around P3. Oh, he's almost lost it coming across the line. He has, but he's done enough. Because here comes David Baker down the main straight. And he's got Liam Tyler Williams right behind him too. And Mannix has got in the middle there, so Mannix is behind. Try and see where he's at. That's turn 1. So Visma's in the pits. Peter Foster's parked. It looks like they're all taking the checkered. David Grace. And we've got to see him come across the line there. Scott Flack having all sorts of trouble with pits or pit lane penalties. So the winner of race 2, Halil Caesar in P1, Daniel Obadesano right behind him as we saw there live on air in P2. Bradley Martin, David Baker taking out 3rd and 4, just in front ahead of Leah Collard Williams in Tasmania. Behind him, Nathan Mannix almost got himself done as well, getting in between Collard Williams and Visma. Visma in P7, Peter Foster in P8, Bryce Royal in P9. Scott Flack all sorts of troubles. P10. Daniel Grace is up in P11. Anders Anderson retirement finishes in P13. Okay, we've got to calculate race 3, set it up for a 48 lap race, and we'll be back after this. With thanks to our sponsors, Jewellery on James at Burleigh Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
If you believe in it, then anything is possible.
With thanks to our sponsors, Jewellery on James at Burleigh Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars Limited Edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
If you believe in it, then anything is possible.
gridding up. It's a doozy. It's a 48 laps long. It looks like a couple of guys have gridded up next to each other. Starting order there. So the starting order as follows is Daniel Opedasano will be starting on P1. P2 Little Caesar, they both got a win in the second each. P3 will be Bradley Martin and Liam Williams. Third row of the grid, Nathan Mannix, Thomas Foster. After that, second race DNF. David Baker, Anthony Bisma will be starting on 7 and 8. P9 will be Scott Flack, Bryce Royal, P10. Peter Foster, P11, Anders Anderson, control the grid, P12, and Dennis Rose will be starting in P13. So, wish the guys luck as we head into race 3, 48 laps. Up the live timing, hopefully it works for us again. Just trying to bring up the get the live map to work for us for race 3, as we lost it last round on the third race as well. So yep, alright, track map's working. Okay, so we've got Daniel Opedasano gonna lead us out. There is the grid right behind. Look at that, great shot. In car and on track at the moment, so we'll stay with that for the green light. Okay, here we go. I can hear the radios go. The engines rev. Race 3, 48 laps. And that's a green light. Daniel off well as he takes us round. Halil Caesar's trying to get round the outside as he does, as Opedasano is forced to take that inside ripple. I'd hate to be the cameraman there on that Armco, but we can see everyone's got away a lot better. I didn't actually show you guys the tyre compounds, but yellow is soft and white is soft, yellow is hard. So you get a chance to look at the look at Foster already up into P3 at the moment, so he means business. Not too happy about that. The commissaire's telling him to yield for the Red Bull of Anders Anderson after that incident in turn 6, but he's already up into P3 and he means business. Bismuth just moving up into P5 as we speak. As we'll go to Dr. Tricep in P3 at the moment on the charge. Opedasano and Caesar, and it'll soon be Foster and Tollard, Williams, Bisma. Look at this group. Liam Tollard's got Bisma coming up on the inside now. Will he get him under brakes? Oh, they both do well to get around the hairpin. Further down the back, we've got Bisma, and then Scott Flack in the Days of Thunder colours. That's Flack in P7 at the moment. The fastest sector of the race so far. Fastest first sector, I should say. David Baker's dropped back into P8. We'll look at the positions gained so far. So Baker's actually dropped one position only. Bisma's the biggest climber with Foster up 3 spots, and Martin losing out of all that. He's, I'm sure he'll get it back. He'll just knuckle down and work his own strategy through the pits and tyre changes. Maybe 1 to 2 pit stops on this race, I'd say, if they really want to keep the pace up. The pit lane speed limits are 40 k's here at Tasmania, Symmons Plains, so it's quite a long one. Even though it's a short pit lane, 40 k's is very slow for these guys, so they want to look at staying out on track as much as possible. As well, Little Caesar with the fastest lap of the race with a 50.735. Okay, so that's a pack of 4 at the moment. Visma leading him out in P4. Wow, look at that. That's 8 cars all vying for P4 at the moment as the leaders have checked out at the moment. And Foster's in the middle there, 1.5 seconds back. So he should be happy with these two battling out in front. He can just look after his tyres now, make sure they lasted 24 laps, as we would assume that's when you would want to pit. He doesn't need to put pressure on these two because Obadasano will be putting pressure on both of them for sure. So just sit back, wait for them to burn the tyres and he can come through. Still got Besma leading out now, a pack of 6 cars. So we cross the line for the 5th time. You can see the positions in the window if you ever get a chance. Get a close-up of the side window, it'll show you, even the windscreen, it'll show you a blue number. That's their current track position as Baker's trying to get down the inside of Flack. So that's a good group there. Martin just come around the hairpin now in P9, dropping a little bit back, but that's okay. He's got a long way to go. It's only 5 laps of 48, and they're very short laps, so it's very hard to rest and take it easy. We see Flack just going wide there in P7 at the moment. Baker right behind. So Visma doing a good job in the Coca-Cola car. He's checking out a bit. He's stretched it out to about 1.6 seconds. Liam Tyler-Williams just dropping back a little bit there. As they rock the bridge, the camera's on. We head down the hairpin for the 6th time in the race. You can see the leaders just stretching out there and Thomas Foster close behind. Who else we got? Peter Foster's dropped back. He's just made a... not the best place to try and rejoin the circuit as David Grace has come round, almost collected him. And there's the 2 shell cars in 12 and 13. Foster did well in the second race to lead the race for a few laps there, holding out Little Caesar until eventually Caesar got past into the hairpin. Back up front, it's Obadasano still putting pressure on Caesar, trying to force a mistake as Caesar just brings up a bit of dust there. Looks like Bismarck or Foster, Thomas Foster dropping back. Looks like Foster's PC's frozen. I've lost all comms from him. Something's happened with him, so he's out at the moment. He's just rejoined. He was frozen there for a long time, so not too sure if the computer's just frozen up on him. So we'll go to Foster in, we'll go to Obadasano, I should say, on board, chasing down Caesar in P2. Oh, is this the lap? Obadasano is going to make the move, just brings up the dust. Coming into turn 6 at the moment. Did I see someone on the inside? No, that was a billboard. So 8 laps down, 40 to go. And the big group, Bismuth still in P3. Coming around the outside of one of the shell cars. He's in P4 and there's Flack behind. William Tollard-Williams can't keep the pace up, so he's dropping back into P5, and but he's got Nathan Mannix right behind him. And that's Mannix on the driver cam at the moment. Chasing down Liam Tollard Williams in P5. Not sure if Foster's... Yeah, looks like last round Foster did rejoin the race as he was able to restart the computer or restart the game. But tonight I don't think it's his night as he DNFs for the second race running. Great close-up there of Mannix coming into turn 1 and 2. Still putting pressure on Tollard Williams in P4. Really, P5 I should say, Flack up in P4 and Bisma taking the Coca-Cola can up into P3. Getting right up the back of Tollard Williams there. We'll see how close Mannix is behind Tollard Williams. Not enough to really put much pressure on as he just stretched out there. Nathan Mannix just making a slight mistake. They come into turn 1, turn 2. Very tricky, very bumpy section of the course. It's very important to get back on the gas as this is a 100% accelerator all the way to the hairpin. Oh, you can see Mannix closing up on the hairpin there. We'll go back up the front as Mannix just gets a bit loose coming out of there. Obadasano's still 0.2 away. Caesar doing a great job, still holding the fastest lap of the race out front, holding off Obadasano. Can't be easy, he knows how good Obadasano is. So Caesar's just braking early, keeping the car under control, not burning those tyres, making sure they last 24 laps, as we're actually only a quarter of the way through the race at the moment, 12 laps down. So his tyres should be at about, I'd say 60%. Don't think we've seen anyone pit so far. Mannix and Tollard Williams, oh there we go, we're coming up behind back markers. We'll see if Anders Anderson gets out of the way. He doesn't have long to give way to the blue flags at the moment. He's just got out of the way there. Not too sure if that was intentional or just the lock up there. We've got the Coke can and the Mellow Yellow can racing each other in P3 and 4. I thought I heard someone, maybe Bryce Royal. He's quite safe in the turn 6 at the moment, but the guys in P3 and 4 are the closest one. Peter Foster just looking up. Oh, is he going to get in the way? Oh, and Visma's just pointed him in the right direction, and that's brought Scott Flack closer up behind him. Peter Foster just struggling there on that section. So it's Coca-Cola versus Mellow Yellow. Obadasano just dropping a little bit back, but I mean 0.6 of a second, you're not going to really notice that. He's just recomposing himself, looking after those tyres, making them last. We've got Baker and Martin. These guys have been racing all year together, so they enjoy their the rivalry between these two. Baker in the Monster Energy Ford Mustang and Bradley Martin in the Aces racing team. They're circulating at the moment in the 54s, 53s. So they're definitely looking after their tyres at the moment. As we've got Black closing in tighter on Anthony Bismer in P3. Looking at the timing screens, we've got like three definite battles out there. Bismer and Flack being one of them. Hillel Caesar up the front and Opedisano, the main one, out in front for P1. The winner of this race between these two will take the round win, so very important for both of them. Caesar nice and smooth through that section. I think you're able to really push on the rears at the moment because the biggest tyre to look after is the right front, especially around the hairpin and into turn 1 and 2. Actually, we've still got Nathan Mannix and Liam Tollo-Williams battling for P5. So definitely everyone pairing off at the moment, keeping each other company on the circuit. But each group's a fair way from each other, so they're not going to threaten the next position should they get in front of the car in front of them. So we saw there Liam Tollo-Williams, P5, doing a great job racing with us from Tasmania. And Nathan Mannix is, oh, and that's a penalty for Anders Anderson. You can see him exiting pit lane there. So he's got to take another trip down pit lane. That'll be a speeding infringement, I'd say, through either the pit entry or pit exit. And Opedisano's just run wide on turn 6. I saw him on the driver cam turning the wheel. It didn't look like a regular turn for Tasmania, but he's coming through turn 1 and 2 at the moment. So now Caesar's got a 9-second gap, and it's important for Opedisano just to get back in his rhythm and chase down Caesar and try and do something through the pit strategy. As we can see, the white banded tyres is the softs. So he's definitely making the softs last 24 laps. That's a great job. 18 laps down, only 6 to go, I'd say, on these set. He'll probably come in around lap 23 to 25, I'd say. My guess would be the latter, so he's got more tyre to battle towards the end of the race and push hard. 30 laps to go. That means we're 18 down on our 19th lap at the moment. So Caesar out in front. There he is down the hairpin, 10 seconds ahead of P2. Unfortunately, Daniel just making that mistake at turn 6 there. And Flack has made the move on Bismer as he's up into P3 now, chasing 7 seconds behind Opedisano. Bismer dropping back about 3.5 seconds, so it could have been a mistake, not too sure. I should have noticed this before, but I've just looked closely on the driver cam of Opedisano, and he's sporting the 2019 V8 Champion cap, which each driver will receive at the end of each year. The champion gets a embroidered cap with the year they won the championship and whether it was the V8 Formula 1 or GT3 championship that we hold each year. So Daniel's the defending champion from 2019. It looks like he's going to defend it for 2020. But he's currently dropping off Caesar in P1, I should say. Okay, so there's no real battles on screen at the moment. That's Caesar and Obasana just in the background trying to get through turn. No, I don't think that was him. So Peter will go through the grid, go through the field at the moment. Scott Flack. We just saw Tollard Williams getting past Mannix. We've got Scott Flack, Mellow Yellow up into P3. Anthony Bisma in the Coca-Cola car. He's in P4, closing that gap. 2.9 seconds. Liam Tollard Williams from Tassie. He's currently in P5. That's been his finishing positions in race 1 and 2. So if he finishes there, he'll finish with 3 fifth places. Not a bad effort from him. Nathan Mannix not having the best of nights for his standards. He's in P6 at the moment. Probably struggling to make those tyres work for him and last the 24 laps. We've only got a couple laps to go, so we're expecting to see the strategy come into play now. David Baker for Monster Energy. That's him in P7. You can see by the blue LED in the window, coming down the main straight towards the hairpin at Symmons Plains, T4. Okay, so that leaves us with Brad Martin. Brad Martin in P8, 4 seconds behind Baker at the moment. Peter Foster after those couple of spins early on, still circulating in P9. Not a bad job from him. Bryce Royal. Bryce Royal's doing quite well. He's fastest lap of the race to 57.099, and he's currently in P top 10 at the moment. He's got Anders Anderson in front of him, but a lap down, so he'll come and put Anders another lap down. Anders Anderson is racing in the store with us, but he's based in Sweden. So he loves the Sims and loves to race these cars with the GT3s as well. So it's a good effort from him. He's quite new to the sport, so we welcome him. Daniel Gross is also new. This is his 3rd round with us, so he's improving. And Symmons Plains is definitely not the easiest track to learn and race in your mirrors, which you always need to be on. And Thomas Foster, unfortunately after that, looked like an electrical issue, is DNF'd in P13. So I'm expecting some pit stops soon. Caesar's just gone around for his 25th lap, so maybe he'll stretch now that he's got 11-second gap. He can pick and choose what strategy he wants. It's not really going to affect him for the race unless he makes a mistake himself on the old tyres or gets caught up in lap traffic. He looks like he's quite safe there in P1. Okay, so it looks like we've got Mannix and Baker together. Let's just bring up Mannix on the driver cam. That's Mannix on the driver cam there. He's in P6 at the moment. And he's got P7 right behind him, chasing him down. And he's got P5 right in front of him, only 1.2 seconds ahead of him. So this will be another battle again for these three. Got Baker. Baker there in P7. Mr. Raceface chasing down Mannix. Let's see if we can go on board with him as he chases down Mannix. Nice long gear changes, steady braking, looking after those tyres. Okay, so Peter Foster's the first one I see in the pits. Yeah, so the leaders are yet to pit at the moment. See how bumpy it is coming into turn 1 and 2. The smoother you get through there, the faster your lap's going to be, obviously, but that's a very important section to get on it down the main straight. And Caesar's down in a pit lane now. And that's Obatasano coming through in the P1. But that's a 7.4 second pit stop for Halil Caesar. And yeah, Caesar's still in the pit. Hopefully he's come out without any penalties. That's a clean stop from him, so that's very important for him. So that's rejoins into P4 at the moment. So 28 laps is a long way to go on that one set, so that's pretty much saying I've got 5 laps in the bank. And if it was my educated guess, and there it is, Obatasano coming in for his set as well, so he doesn't want to get undercut too much. Daniel racing with us from the Gold Coast. That's given Daniel enough time to look at his timing stats on screen and see who's behind. It looks like Mannix tried to get Tollard Williams, but looks like he got it back. And that's Obatasano out safely as well, rejoining in P5. Okay, so that promoting Scott Flack up in a top spot at the moment. And we've got Brad Martin coming to the pits. Can't really see through the pit wall there. We've got Bisma up into P2. Looks like Tollard Williams must have come into pit, I hope, because he's dropped right back. He hasn't, so I'm not too sure what happened with him. We'll probably see him come in because we haven't lost too much time on that lap. Being old tyres, you expect the times to come down a bit. But he's staying out for another couple of laps. Quite a strong effort from him. I don't know how he's going to make these last any longer. He's better off coming in soon so he can get full range of the fresher tyres. Caesar is probably the virtual leader on track at the moment, as we can see from the pit stops. We'll just have a look at the time gaps there. So he's 11 seconds behind the leader at the moment. And that brings Obatasano and Mannix together. Obatasano from the Gold Coast. Mannix is in the store in Sydney with us here at Darling Harbour. We see Anderson just locking up and going wide into turn 6. He'll probably come in for his next set of tyres there. He's probably flat spotted them. And that's Obatasano scoring the fastest lap of the race there, 50.695. Nice new livery for Daniel for Symmons Plains. Probably painted by Thomas Foster, who's been unfortunate tonight with those issues earlier on. Looks like Daniel's on another fast sector with the fastest first sector again of the race, so definitely with 5 laps up his sleeve, he can afford to really push the times and push those tyres a bit harder, as Halil Caesar's just pinched back the fastest lap of the race. But you can see there on the sector times there, we know Daniel's just about to get the time back again, and that's him crossing line with a 50.442. This battle for fastest lap of the race is really heating up. There's no extra points for these guys, unfortunately, but it's great to watch and see as we see Tollard Williams coming into, well, we can't see him anywhere, to be honest, but looks like he's coming through the lane. That's the right side going up as he gets the right side sun than the left. Average is about 7.4 seconds, and that's pretty much on average, 7.6 for Tollard Williams. And where's he going to rejoin? That's a pit exit coming across there now. So we can see Willie come back just in front of Martin. He's just tucked in behind Martin, but probably got tyres that are like 2 laps fresher than Martin, so this will be a great battle for P6 at the moment. So has everyone pitted? We're still waiting for Bisma and Flack. Wow, for those two to last this long on those tyres, it'd be interesting to see what compound they're actually on. We'll go back up the front, and there he goes. There he comes in. Looks like he was on hard, so definitely made those hards work well for him. It put him up in a third, and that's Mellow Yellow and Coca-Cola coming in for their fresh tyres. And Bisma almost blocking out Flack on his pit exit there. It's a short pit lane, but very slow pit lane, 40 kilometres an hour, and you cannot exceed the pit lane speed limit by 1 kilometre, otherwise you will get penalised. But the guys have done really well tonight to stay within those speeds, and Flack rejoins in P4. Right behind Mannix. So that's Mannix into the hairpin there, and Flack is coming down the straight. So Anthony Bisma, oh, no, that's just undone a great effort from him, and he's going to have to come and serve a penalty. I'm not too sure. That would probably be a drive-through, depending on how severe the penalty was. If it's only a couple of Ks over the limit, then it's a drive-through. If it's a lot of Ks, then it's a 10-second stop and go. So that's going to cost him towards the end of the race there. Okay, so now those guys have pitted. We're back to our lead, and it looks like Obadesano's lost out a little bit, but not too much. Still doable with 13 laps to go. But he's got to chew a second a lap on Caesar if he's going to take the win and the round win for race 3 at Tasmania Symmons Plains. So Mannix is coming for his tyres now. He's actually exiting at the moment, and Bisma's just, let's hope we don't see the penalty board come up for him, and no, that's clean for him. And someone's just gone straight down the back there. That looks like Daniel Grace. Could have been an accident if Mannix had come out any time later. That's Bisma serving his penalty. So after 36 laps, it's Hello Caesar out in P1. We've got Daniel Obadesano at the hairpin around in P2. Scott Flack rejoining, stretching that first stint out and really paying off as he's circulating now into P3. And Bisma, who was his closest competition, has pitted again for his penalty. Okay, so Nathan Mannix. That brings Mannix up into P4, as you see on driver cam. And Brad Martin, after finding himself down the back of the grids, definitely made his way back up into P5, so he's just got to hold that, and that'll be a good result for him for Aces Racing. That was Obadesano just coming around to lap Martin. Very short circuit, so it's easy to get lapped on this circuit. That's Liam Tollard Williams. Tasmania, he's in P6. And Baker's 8 seconds behind him, but you can see, no, this isn't for position. So Baker's out there on his own. As a car behind him on screen is Scott Flack in P3. So that won't be for position as Baker's in P7 at the moment. Visma, after all of that, has re-entered in P8. That's cost him about 4 positions, I'd say, for this race. Peter Foster's still in P9. Looks like he's got a handle of turns 7 and 6 and 7. And his fastest lap of the race this race is a 54.863. Great job from him. It's about his 3rd or 4th race with us this year. Got 10 laps to go. So that's Peter Foster, Thomas Foster's father, in P9. Bryce Royal in the Shell Helix car, circulating in P10 at the moment, with a fastest lap of a 54 flat. Pretty consistent with his fastest lap from lap race 2, I should say. Nice close up, and he's just hit that curb, getting unsettled, and it's hard to pull the car up in time, but he's managed to do well to get it through turn 1 and 2 there. He's got Scott Black right behind him any second. Anders Andersson from Sweden in the Red Bull entry, currently in P11. His fastest lap's 52.4. Just hope he can string a few of those together and he can find himself further up the field. But at the moment, with a few mistakes like this one, that's putting him at least 3 laps down. And then we've got Daniel Grace in P12. Okay, so everyone's pretty much spread out, as you can see on the track map. No one really together, battling for position at the moment. New fastest lap, Scott Black, 50.3 flat. Wow, what a lap. And that's a few laps out after his pit stop, so it's not like he's done it on the freshest part of his second set of tyres, so that's a great job from him. 8 laps to go. I'm not too sure if he's going to bridge the gap to P2, so it looks like P3 could be comfortably his, but I don't want to give it the commentator's curse at the moment. Okay, so Caesar, after that earlier incident from Opedisano, is breathing a sigh of relief as he's got an 11-second gap. Not to say he doesn't deserve it, he definitely deserves it. He's been very competitive at Symmons Plains so far, so well-deserved round win hopefully for Halil Caesar in the Coolamass entry. Wow, Black just nailing it on the soft tyres. Another fastest lap with a 50.296. Incredible lap from these guys. So the top 3 all in the low 50s. But they're not really going to not enough laps in the race to change position here. As we watch Caesar take us through the 43rd lap of the race. Only 5 laps to go, 5 or 6 laps to go so far. We've got Nathan Mannix in P4. This will be his best position tonight. He's got a 6 and a 6, so he's definitely wanting to improve on that one. And 4th is probably where he sees himself. Bradley Martin for Aces Racing, he's in P5. He's only 11 seconds back, so anything could happen in the last 5 laps. And that's Peter Foster in the Green Eye Monster going around the hairpin there. Beautiful livery. Okay, so that's the 5 laps to go. We've got Tollard Williams coming down the main straight. So I keep calling the main straight. The back straight, T5. Coming to T6 at the moment. We've got David Baker, Mr. Raceface. Where is he? Driver cam. We love watching the intensity of his driving. And the focus. Well, he's still got time to look around and see who's behind him. He's got rear vision mirrors for that. Anyway, he puts his head down in P7. As long as he stays there, I'm sure he'll be happy. It looks like Tollard Williams is chasing Bradley Martinez. That gap's now down to 2.5 seconds with 3 laps to go. Not too sure if that's going to be enough. Anthony Bisma, after that unfortunate pit lane penalties, back down at P8 and hasn't moved from that position. It looks like... okay, so that's Peter Foster. Peter Foster still in P9 at the moment. Very close up there. Very striking livery for Paps. Also painted by Thomas Foster, his son, so great job from him. Bryce Royal circulating in P10 still. 10 seconds behind Peter Foster. That's Anderson in the pits. I'm sure that's for a set of tyres. The white band's a soft compound. So hopefully he didn't receive a penalty that session. No, done well there. And Daniel Grace in P12. Okay. Alright, so Tollard Williams and Anthony Bisma. This is the battle on track at the moment. So Tollard Williams either made a mistake there in P7. That moves Baker into P6. So Tollard Williams could be battling on old tyres or just battling with back markers. We'll keep a close eye on these guys. As these guys need to obey the blue flag, as Bryce Royal does. Lets him go down the main straight, tucks back in. Oh, I hope he's out-braked himself, so he'll go straight in the hairpin there. So this is the battle. We'll stay on this until the last or second last lap to watch Halil cross the checkered flag, cross the line to get the checkered flag, get the round win. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Bisma's up the inside. Tollard's tried to close the gap, but he's come off second best. And Bisma's slowing down. I don't think he needs to for that one. I think Tollard Williams tried to shut the door there and it didn't pay off. Okay, so that frees us up to watch Halil Caesar take us through the last lap. Well-deserved round win for him, for Cooler Master. 2 race wins in a second. That's enough to get the job done. His last lap was a 51.351, which is pretty on par with most of them. Scott Flack definitely the fastest guy on track at the moment, but a bit too late to make any gains. As Opedisano is still within that 12-second mark, so Opedisano is keeping up, but not enough to make the gain. And we've got Halil Caesar with 2 corners to go, crossing the line. Round 13 of the V8 League 2020 goes to Halil Caesar for Cooler Master. Congratulations to him. Great job. 2 race wins in a second. And here comes Opedisano getting it sideways. Oh, he's held it. And he's getting the tail whip across the line. That'll be position 2, race 2, and for the round as well. And Scott Flack coming home third. And we're just waiting for Nathan Mannix. Mannix has already crossed the line, so looks like we're just waiting for other guys. Across the line, Baker coming across the line. Bisma coming around onto the main straight to take P7 from Liam Tollard Williams. And that's Liam taking P8 at the moment. And Peter's already parked it. And it looks like the whole circuit's finished. Okay. So after all of that, "48 long laps. Halil sees takes race win and round win from Daniel Opedasano in P2. He'll also finish the round second as well. Scott Black finishing P3. Nathan Mannix, a great effort from him, P4. Bradley Martin, P5. Good job from him from the back of the field after that incident on the first lap. David Baker coming home P6. Anthony Bisma coming home strong. Unfortunately, he suffered that pit lane penalty, which took him back from about 4th to 8th, so done well to get back up to 7th. Liam Tollard Williams finishes in P8. Peter Fawcett P9. Bryce Roll P10. P11 went to Anders Anderson. Daniel Grace finishing P12, and Thomas Foster with that earlier issue in DNFing, finishing P13. Okay, so that leaves us with one more round to go. And if I'm to bring up the schedule, that means next round will actually be next Wednesday, the 16th. So please ignore that. It says the 15th, but it will be Oran Park, round 14, grand final. Trophies will be handed out and hats will be handed to the winner of the league for 2020. Such a mixed up league. We're glad you joined us for round 13 and hope you can join us either on track or on YouTube to watch all the action. From myself, Shane Guilford, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next round. And red stitching, date, calendar, and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
If you believe in it, then anything is possible.